This episode of I've Had It is brought to you by Booking.com. Since 2010, they've helped over 1.8 billion vacation rental guests find places to stay. That's billion with a B. Head over to Booking.com and start your listing today. Get seen, get booked on Booking.com. So are we supposed to start the podcast?
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Patriots, gay-triots, they-triots, black-triots, brown-triots, and those who don't support them can
fuck off.
All right, listener. Pumps, what have you had it with?
Okay, what I've had it with is returns. I feel like when you try to return something, they make it so hard that I tried to return something this morning and it was so much work, so many phone calls. I finally just said, you know what, I'll just keep it. Just forget it. I gave up because it was such an annoyance. So I fucking have had it with returns. I think they make it so hard on purpose.
I absolutely think they do. I think here's one thing that really pisses me off. As it pertains to airline tickets, Pete Buttigieg, Joe Biden, all the other radical leftists had this radical policy where if you buy an airline ticket and it gets canceled, delayed, whatever, they have to give you a refund. They have to. So it was actually consumer protections. Kanks, Lil Smokey, and all the Christians get in there, the MAGA Christians. And of course, they kiss ass to the billionaires. And I thought, we have bailed the airlines out so many times.
So many times.
They're not allowed to fail. They can run a shitty business and American taxpayers are going to bail them out. And they can't give us a fucking refund. I thought that just is the prime difference between the two parties. Of course, you have Democrats out there messaging that, hey, MAGA, is completely beholden to corporations, because a lot of Democrats are completely beholden to the same corporations. But I thought that was just really, really something, because I guarantee you a MAGA person could not defend that. That's something we all experience, getting dicked over by airlines.
Every time. And also bank overdraft fees. The Biden administration put a limit on it. They took the limit off. So your bank can charge you whatever they want for your overdraft fees. I'm like, you're protecting the bank, not the consumer. It's such bullshit.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that Democrats need to do a better job messaging, is that the regulations, because the Republicans have done a decades-long assault that regulations are too burdensome for businesses to conduct themselves. And we don't want regulations because then we don't have free markets. The Democrats should have done a better job saying these aren't regulations, they're consumer protections. The last people that need more money are the airlines. The last people that need more money is Jeff Bezos. This is to protect you, because they are constantly sitting around a board meeting, looking at their stock price, figuring out extra ways to fuck you as hard as they can. And then once you're there, then they're going to bend you over and figure out if they can do it even harder. And Democrats have just done a shitty job messaging how important consumer protections are. And furthermore, how important regulated capitalism is and how much safer and stable the economy is. But, all right, let me tell you what I've had it with.
Okay.
So, I did a couple of iHip News episodes of Marjorie Taylor Greene, right? Because she'll do a CNN interview, she'll do a podcast, and she's trying to act like she's AOC or Bernie. She has this economic populist message. So I had to go over to her Twitter feed to see if she's still feeding the stray cats, if she's still feeding the crazy cultists, and she is. Mm-hmm. And she wrote, there was a picture of her daughter, and she wrote, "Children are my why." And I just have to say, I've had it with any phrase where it's like, my dog is my why, or my husband is my why, or my kids are my why. Fucking grow up. Don't be so codependent. Don't be so toxic that you put that amount of a burden on your child. And furthermore, be your own why. This enmeshment that parents have. It's no surprise that it's Marjorie Taylor Greene, but people on the left do this too. The enmeshment that people have with their kids, that it's like their lives have to be like this and not like concentric circles. And I've seen a lot of parents, particularly in like red states, where it's like their whole purpose is their kids and everything revolves around their kids. And I have 2 kids that I adore more than anything on the planet, but they are their own people. They have their own lives, their own individuality. And I just think that phrase, pumps is my why. I mean, I just think that's so crazy. Fucking stupid.
It's so stupid. I've seen like posts that are like, if you're struggling right now, figure out what your why is and focus on your why. And I'm just like, shut the fuck up.
What does that mean? What your why?
I don't know. Like, why am I doing this? Why am I here? Why is this important? It's just like, if you don't know and you have to write it down, then we got problems.
The hyper search to investigate your life, to figure out what you're supposed to be doing, whether it be self-help or what your why is. I mean, like, I just think these are fool's errands where basically you need to wake up, do what you need to do for the day. And if you have time to do something extra, great. But the majority of days are 3 to 4 out of 10. They're boring. Most everyday life is boring and mundane. And then maybe you get to go on a trip, or maybe you get to go to a friend's wedding, or maybe you're the one getting married. And then you get a day that's a 10 out of 10, but those are not every single day. And people in first world countries are so fucking spoiled that they think they need to search for what their why is. Why? Because your parents fucking raw dogged and you're here. You're sitting here on this planet. That's why. That's exactly why. Your parents fucked. You're here. Get over it. Quit being histrionic. Quit making everything about yourself and do what you need to do to be a contributing person in society. Maybe try to fight fascism, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's a privilege to be able to sit around and ponder, what is my why? I feel like that's something of the upper class. I feel like if you're working 2 jobs and you're a single parent and you're trying to pay the rent, you don't have a lot of time to sit around and think, what is my why? I think it's a privilege type conversation. That's just my opinion.
All right. Welcome to I've Had It. I'm Jennifer.
I'm Angie.
We're America's top DEI podcast. And we have Kylie, our producer, who has for those that are listening, it's a very attractive jacket with horses on it. It is, she's giving lesbian cowgirl.
Yeah, Annie Oakley kind of thing. I like it.
Thank you so much. I've got a couple reviews for you today.
Okay, great.
The first one is a haiku written by Liz, 5 stars. And they write, HBIC yaks, centrist Jessica browbeats, MAGA nuts melt down.
A haiku.
Very nice. Very nice. Very well done. All right. Who's next?
Okay. The next one is 5 stars titled, Finally, Some Non-Disappointing Whites. And they write, most people that I've come across that look like me either only care about Taylor Swift or becoming a miniature Marge Taylor Greene. I'm so glad to be reminded that just because we look vaguely like MTG from a distance, that doesn't mean we have to become demons like her. Keep up the good work.
I think that's a really good point, but I'm just going to tell people I talk about this on iHip News all the time. Marjorie Taylor Greene is an opportunist and a grifter, and she sees the writing on the wall with Kanks. She sees that Kanks has swollen hands, swollen ankles, bruised hands, dementia out the wazoo, doesn't know where he is half the time. And in order for the strong man, the authoritarian strong man, to keep the personality cult together, he has to emit this toxic masculinity, this toxic strength. Well, the death knell for a lot of authoritarians is when the leader starts appearing frail and sick and old. That's happening, you guys. So as daunting as it is living in America right now, it is happening. And look no further than the fissures that are happening in the MAGA internet podcast sphere. You have Tucker Carlson jumping ship. Marjorie Taylor Greene is jumping ship, trying to act like a democratic socialist, while at the same time making sure she praises Jesus, is mean to the LGBTQ. So do not fall for it. You're going to see clips of her on the World Wide Web. And she is, I'm going to say, attempting to make a lot of sense, but it's no different messaging than what Bernie's had for 3 or 4 decades. It's no different messaging than what AOC has had for the last 10 years. It's no different than what Zohran Mamdani is saying. And she is just taking democratic socialism and wrapping it up with Republican permission structure. And then she will fuck you like every other Republican presidency ever has. They always do it. They always fuck over the working class worse than the Democrats do. And that's a pretty low bar.
Yeah. I when I see something that Marjorie Taylor Greene said, or I read something, I'm always like, oh my God, I'm agreeing with her. Like, I have to do a mental list. Like, okay, she's crazy. She's a grifter, but she's an astute politician, because when I agree with her, it terrifies me. I mean, I have to do an inventory.
So that shows how, I'm telling you, she's strategically seeing the curtains are closing on Kanks. I mean, he is just, this guy appears frail. He talks about death all the time, whether he's going to get into heaven, where he's not going to get into heaven. We can see physically the toll, like an elderly person at a nursing home. He acts like the way he rambles, he's in a memory care wing. And the smarter Republicans are going to distance themselves, because the personality cult is not going to form under JD Vance. It just will fucking not. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, don't buy it for a second, because you'll see her, you guys, and you probably have seen her. She hits the algorithm, and it is all, she's exploiting. And this is what Republicans do. They use issues to make you feel like, oh, they care about me. But here's the thing. Marjorie Taylor Greene is an architect and a participant in every single thing that we're all going through. And we can never let her off the hook for supporting an authoritarian. I don't care how much she fucking says that she's going to be for working class people. They never will be. Republicans are for corporations, and look no further than Marjorie Taylor Greene's stock exchanges while she's been in Congress. All right, Kylie, do you have any news stories for us?
I do. Here's the first one, and I've got a video to follow. So the New York Post, the headline is "Stay-at-Home Hub Sons Are the Trad Wives of 2025, and Their Moms Couldn't Be More Thrilled." And then here's the video.
Is picking up steam. Stay-at-home sons. These young men, dubbed trad sons or hub sons, are opting out of the rat race to take on full-time homemaker duties for their parents in exchange for room and board. A family therapist tells the New York Post that this shift may be fueled by insecurity and instability, with some young men feeling safest under mom and dad's roof in an uncertain world. And they're not alone. 1 in 3 U.S. adults age 18 to 34 now lives at home. Experts say it's fine as long as it's a pit stop and not the destination.
I'll tell you what, I mean, just white guys are having a tough go.
It's hard.
Here's where I am on that. I believe when any human being group is having a crisis, it's a crisis. But welcome to what every other group, every other demographic has had to deal with.
Right.
Since forever. And I think this is what happens when you get equality of genders, equality of races, and we're nowhere there yet. But if you look at all of these white men that are highly unqualified that are running the federal government,
right,
they would have never gotten these jobs, without their white skin and their ability to kiss Donald Trump's ass. So we just have a problem. And I just think white women, quit helicoptering your kids. Quit babying your kids. Quit doing for your kids what they should be doing for yourself. Don't infantilize your kids. Don't baby talk your sons. They are young men. Treat them as such. The psychology is firm in this. Every therapist across the board is in agreement with this. Don't baby your teenage/young adult sons. It is a recipe for their future to completely faceplant, because nobody gets treated like that. And here's the thing. I don't know when this happened, when parents started infantilizing their kids so much, but I see it all the time. When I was probably like 12, I had a key to my house. I was a latchkey kid. My parents never baby talked me. I don't remember. I have no memory of my parents baby talking me. And now I feel like there's just like these adults that baby talk young adult kids. And to me, it's so fucking cringy and weird. I don't even know how to process it. It's so disrespectful to the young adults being to infantilize them. And I don't know where this came from. But I guarantee you all the hub sons, mommies are infantilizing them and baby talking.
100%.
Fucking weird.
It's fucking weird. No, my mother, I was a latchkey kid. She would say, okay, call me when you get home. And she'd tell me like, I need you to do this. Like, I need you to vacuum or I need you to set dinner. I mean, it was just like, you took care of your own shit because she wasn't going to. And then I fell into the trap of doing everything for my kid until I was like, I'm going to have a heart attack because it's making me so crazy. And thank goodness I pulled back when I did, because now they're better. But it's just like, it is a epidemic of parents doing for their kids. You see it at sports. My kid's the next LeBron James, treat him differently. School, my kid didn't win the award. We have participation trophies. I agree with you. All these hub sons have helicopter power parents. 100%.
That are baby talking their grown ass sons. And I think it's weird as shit. Okay. Next up, Kylie. All right. 1 in 5 high schoolers has had a romantic AI relationship or knows someone who has. A national survey of students, teachers, and parents shines a light on how the AI revolution is playing out in schools, including when it comes to bullying and to communities' trust in schools. Wow. You guys, okay, this to me is really, really sad. And we have to go to our guest shortly, but I just want to say, for people that are around Mind Pumps' age, who have kids that are in high school or, just started college, somewhere within that 10-year gap, we had our kids and then these cell phones came out. They were flip phones. It was no big deal back when we were raw dogging. And then around the time that our kids were toddlers, they morphed into these smartphones. And then it was like, oh my God, look at this. Look at what my phone does. It's like a computer in your hand. And then your kids get to 5th grade, 6th grade, and their friends have phones. And you're like, oh, well, I'm going to get you a phone so I can find you and I can track you. And that seems like a good idea. And then, I definitely did this and I'm not proud of it, but a lot of times it was just easier for me. I was stressed out. My husband had we all know Josh has been to rehab 5 times. And there were times where I was just like, get your phones and play video games on your phones, or go play video games, because I can't do this. I have to turn on robot mom. Like, I can do the bare minimum. I can feed you and I can remove you from the house if it catches on fire. Fortunately, my kids are okay. They're both, one's in law school, one's in college, but there was no guidance. And I regret how much time we all spent at home and everybody looking at their phones. Yeah. And it's a sad thing. When I watch old movies or sitcoms, Pumps, like from the 80s or 90s, and you see that people are just interacting, there's no phone in the hands and, landline phone calls. I always want to be cautious to be nostalgic about times, because I think that's oftentimes a fool's errand. But I do think the lack of cell phones in our formative years was better. I think we had better skills. And I see that this generation is so risk adverse. And I think a lot of that has to do with cell phones.
Yeah, the shaming. And then they're constantly comparing, my life isn't as good as their life. And they're prettier than me because it took 7,000 pictures in Photoshop and all that. What the performative nature of the whole social media and cell phone. And it's fucking crazy. Like, when I look at it, it is crazy. But I just want to go back to this just real quick. These people have a relationship with AI and they know it's AI. Is that what that says?
Yes, but it's a loneliness epidemic.
I agree with that.
And it's really not that far off from, like, at first in the late 90s, early 2000s, people, when the internet first came out, chat rooms. So it's just some, screen sending you messages backwards. It's the same thing with AI. This doesn't surprise me because I think people are so lonely and people fall prey to superficial flattery. And, especially younger people, they want to feel loved and they're isolated by these cell phones. That doesn't surprise me. And to me, it makes me sad because I definitely could have done a better job raising my kids and limiting their cell phone use. That's a regret that I have. I just, it was easier. It was a path of least resistance. I wanted to dick off on my phone too. It was selfish mothering on my part. And there's just no guidance, no results. But I think, I knew like, this isn't right.
Right. And if it was easier, like at a restaurant, just get on your phone. Or if you were in a car on a road trip, get your phone, it was convenience on my part. But also just like emotionally, I wasn't able to be there emotionally. So the phone was, but so they know it's AI when they're having the relationship. I'm just clearing that up.
Yeah. I mean, I think they know, but I mean, to me, whether it's AI or some person behind a screen in a chat room, to me, it's the same level of nonverbal communication. It's just an extension of what's been going on for decades. And I think it just speaks to the loneliness that cell phones cause our species and the isolation, the radicalization, all of the shit, all of the problems from it. All right. Great pre-show, everybody. We have a great guest. She's a Real Housewife of New York City, former Real Housewife of New York City. And let's welcome to I've Had It, Carole Radziwill. This episode of I've Had It is brought to you by Booking.com. Pumps, I've got to say, if you're looking to grow your vacation rental business, this is the place to be. Booking.com is one of the most downloaded travel apps in the entire world, and for good reason. Since 2010, they've helped over 1.8 billion vacation rental guests find places to stay. That's billion with a B. But here's the thing. Most vacation rentals don't even realize they can list their properties on Booking.com. And if you're not on the platform, your rental is basically invisible to millions of Booking.com travelers worldwide.
And nearly half of the hosts get their first booking within a week.
So listener, if your vacation rental isn't listed on Booking.com, it could be invisible to millions of travelers searching the platform. Don't miss out on consistent bookings and global reach. Head over to Booking.com and start your listing today. Get seen. Get booked on Booking.com.
Okay, you guys, I hate to break it to you, but it's not too early to start thinking about holiday gifts. And it's never too early to get your shopping done and actually have fun with it. And that is why Uncommon Good makes sense. Uncommon Goods make holiday shopping stress-free and joyful with thousands of one-of-a-kind gifts you can't find anywhere else. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the USA. Many are crafted by independent artists and small businesses. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give back $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They have donated more than $3 million to date. So shop early, have fun, and cross some names off your list today. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/hadit. That's uncommongoods.com/hadit for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary. As everybody with kids knows, your kids are always hitting you up for money. And so keeping all the balls in the air with 3 different kids was super difficult on what I owed which kid and who I had to pay next. And that is why I am so happy I found Cash App. For all the parents out there with teenagers, we know you're already trying to keep a million different things under control. Cash App is here to make sure your teen's money and their spending isn't adding to the craziness. Every transaction triggers a real-time notification for you to see, empowering your team to practice independence while giving you peace of mind by keeping track of their spending. With Cash App, there are no monthly fees, no minimum balance requirements, and no hidden charges when spending or receiving money. If you're ready to give your team more independence while staying in the loop, start by downloading Cash App and setting up their account today. For a limited time, new Cash App customers can earn $10 if they use code FAMILY10 in their profile at sign up and send $5 to a friend within 14 days. Terms apply. Cash App is a financial services platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App's bank partners. Prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC. Visit Cash App /legal/podcasts for full disclosures.
All right, let's welcome to I've Had It, an author, a former reality star, and a brand new Substacker, Carole Radziwill. Carole, how are you today?
Good. How are you guys? I can't believe I'm here with you. You know, I watch you.
You do?
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Yeah.
I used to watch you on Real Housewives.
Well, that's kind of like that's a different kind of watch. I watch you guys for information. Like I think I watched you like early on. How long have you been doing this?
3 years this month.
Oh yeah, I think it was like 2 years ago. I was like, who are these ladies? They're really funny.
Thank you. You know, we try, you know, we started just talking about daily grievances, Carole.
I love that.
And then, you know, it morphs into your daily grievances are these fucking fascists.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you have to talk about that all the time.
Yeah.
And I remember, I think I watched a few episodes of Real Housewives of New York back when Hillary was running against Trump.
Okay.
And you were going fucking crazy. And I was right there with you. Like you were going, okay,
no, I felt like 100%. Nobody was.
No, I was right there with you, like totally manic. Like, okay, she's up 2 points here, but down here. And then we can do this. And if she wins this state, then the blue wall. And I was like, yes, yes, yes. I was totally in on the whole thing, just completely in.
I mean,
how devastating was that?
By the way, that was filmed obviously during the general, but in 2016. And what I said about Donald Trump then, it was super early. Like, you know, it was like I was sort of like invested in the primary, obviously. You know, because of my background, I think I'm just generally, you know, interested, generally speaking, in like elections and what's going on in the country. And even though I haven't reported for 20 years, but and then by the time we started filming in September, that was in September, you know, it's kind of like all, like the rest of the country, all I could talk about because it was just so crazy. It was like a reality show. It literally felt like I'm like, this is a reality show. This guy's not serious. And the stuff I said about him that Bravo kept it in the show, I was like, holy shit. Like, I mean, I called him a buffoon, a clown. You know, I talked about a rape case that was currently at that time in the Supreme Court, New York, downtown, with an underage girl. And that disappeared after he was elected. But like I was just talking about all, thinking Bravo's not going to air this. First of all, it's like and this was before they started really they do more politics now. And the other women were just like scurrying. You know, they just, one castmate was like, well, what about Hillary's emails? And then I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. What about the 3 million emails that George Bush deleted when he left office? This is not like an abnormal thing to do. But like there was no talking to them, and the other castmates were like hiding in cupboards, and it was just extraordinary. And then by the time that election rolled around, obviously after James Comey did that, did what he did, and I'll never forget having a scene the few days or the week before the election party that I was planning. And I said, I don't know if I'm planning a party or a funeral. Like I don't know if you remember, but like that last week after the Comey thing it just turned around.
I remember.
But there was still hope, obviously. I mean, we were devastated.
I remember
cried the next day. I got to be honest.
God.
I've taken a back seat to talking about I mean, for a while, that's all I talked about through 16, 17, 18, 19. But I've sort of taken a back seat because the people who support him, and I'm talking the real true believers. Yeah, I'm not talking about Republicans. Half my family Republicans. It's like those people are normal, but the true believers really, really are nasty.
Yeah.
Oh, they're very nasty.
I got death threats. I had to file police reports. Like it was like, and I'm just like a dumb housewife on a reality show. So yeah, that was 2017.
Yeah. All right, Carole, let me ask you, let's just get out of politics for a second. Let me ask you what you've had it with.
Oh, so
The
much.
hook of the show.
I know. I love the title. I've had it with a lot of things. Like it comes and goes. Like every day there's some new thing. But lately I've really had it with the Resi app. I know that sounds crazy, but it's not, because if you live in New York, we used to be able to like go out at night in our we had neighborhood places, restaurants. Raoul's is a big restaurant right in my neighborhood, and you would be able to get a reservation. Like you'd be able to get a table even without a reservation, like at 7:30 or 7 or 8, whatever, not at 5:30 or 10:30. And ever since this Resi app came about, and I never use it because it's like a point of honor with me. You cannot walk in a single restaurant in New York City and just say, hey, do you have a table for two? Oh, I'm sorry. There's a 3-hour wait. Or like, don't tell me there's a 3-hour wait. Like that's an insane thing to tell someone. They just say you're booked for the night or whatever. But the Resi app has made it so I think people from the tri-state area they book all of these reservations for like date night, all these things, whatever it is, and they come into the city, they clog all the restaurants up, and like regular like neighborhood New Yorkers can't get into restaurants. So I've had it with that. I mean, it's a problem.
I've had it with people calling reservations Resis. I've had it with the whole thing. The Resi app. I'll get us a Resi. Oh, do you have a Resi for us tonight? And it's cute when somebody with a British accent or an Australian accent says it, but when just a normal, boring American is trying to cute up the American version of English, it bugs the shit out of me.
And I'll tell you something for the big high popular, I won't name them because I'll never get a table, but the popular restaurants, we've all read about them in Dumois and they do this thing now, and I'm not 100%, but I'm like 98% sure, so I'll say it like fact. There's third party companies that take up all the reservations and sell them to wealthy people who will pay. You pay a premium. You like, I want a reservation at, say, Carbone. It's hard to get a reservation there. I want a reservation at 8:30 on Saturday. And then these companies have that table and they will give you that reservation and you pay them like an extra $100. You pay them, they have $100 and then you obviously whatever your bill is at the restaurant. But there's like concierge, it's like ticket scalping, but now it's restaurant. It's Resi scalping. Now, I'm not 100% sure this is, I know it's going on like in an underground way, but I think this is going to become more and more of a thing. And I know this because a friend of mine has done it. And I was like, damn, how did you get that reservation? I know that. And he told me. So it's maybe under the radar right now, but this is what's happening. So like just regular people just can't get these reservations because who's going to pay $400 for dinner and then an extra $100 to this company to get the table? It's just insane. It's like, it's kind of ruining New York. I'm really depressed about it.
It's like an oligarchy in restaurant. Like the oligarchy is ruining everything. Everything. It's like toxic capitalism. Everyone is on a hustle, a grift.
it's really terrible. It's really terrible. It's like I used to get crazy about the COVID shacks too. I mean, we had a few on our street, and I live in the West Village, so the streets are small. And like, I get it. Like in 2020 and 2021, for 2 years, whatever, you're trying to like make up the difference. But these restaurants, they were like abusing it like anything, you know, that, you know, 4 years later, they still have their shitty COVID shacks up that are not ADA compliant. They're fire hazards. They're blocking traffic. They're like, and they're dirty. So there are more rats. There's garbage. And like, I spoke to a friend of mine who owns 2 restaurants, very popular restaurants in the West Village. And I was like, when are you going to take these down? Come on. And I know they're flush with cash. So it's not like a money thing anymore. It's just like a greed thing. And she's like, well, you know, the law says that we can. And like, I'm like, okay, legally, maybe there's a loophole that allows you to keep these. But like, what about morally? What about the moral question in all of this? It just drives me crazy. What about the stakeholders, the people who live in the neighborhood that frequent your restaurant? They don't want these anymore. It just, I was on my soapbox about that for years. No, the city council guy, I love him, Eric Boschner. He barely stopped taking my calls. I don't know. I would see him at party, I saw him at a restaurant opening, and he's like, "Oh no, here she comes."
Are you kind of a Karen in the West Village?
No, only against, no, because I don't call them. If I'm calling the manager, it's to say that they're taking advantage of the regular, like the underdog. They're taking advantage. Like, we had a COVID shack, and they were dumping the garbage in front of this townhouse that belonged to Helen Jean, her name was. She, may she rest in peace. She died a couple months ago. She was like 97 years old. And because the garbage was in front of her townhouse, she was getting ticketed by sanitation for having garbage on the sidewalk. But it was the restaurant's garbage, you know. So it's like, yeah, in that case, I'm going to be the Karen to help Helen Jean, who's 107, to stop getting these tickets. So, you know, basically, I was like, we're going to do it 2 ways. You're going to move the garbage cans to the other side of the shack, or I will. So they
Karen for good.
A Karen for good. Yeah. A Karen for like people who don't speak up, and maybe I.
All right. Let's talk about when we were emailing with you before. Let's talk about, you've had it with willful ignorance. And this is something that I have completely had it with. People that willfully play dumb or willfully play, oh, I'm just dingy, I didn't realize. When this, you know, this person is fully competent, fully able. This gets right under my skin, right up there with people calling reservations resis.
I think that it's like a multi-layered, that kind of situation. There are people who, when you present them with a fact that you could have, even if you just read the headline of any newspaper on social, whatever, that is a fact, that they'll say, well, I mean, send me, you know, how do you know, like you're saying it like as opinion. Well, send me the article, or send me, what research do you have? Like, as though, oh wait, I'm now your research assistant? No. This is what's going on. This is the fact. You go do the fucking research. You go find the article. Like, that kind of like playing dumb, playing like all of a sudden I'm turning into, like, you see this a lot on Instagram in the comments. Well, how can you back that up? Show me the article. I'm not fucking showing you shit, dude. I'm not showing you anything. Go look it up. Critical thinking skills. Like, you have a brain in your head, 2 eyes and a brain. Like, look it up, find out. This is what's going on. And so I hate that. And then when people just don't understand, like, they just, you know, when they do, like, why don't you understand? Like I said in my Substack, this last one was the most political I've gotten, and I'm trying not to do it. But, you know, like the troops rolling into Portland. I have family in Portland. You know, the ICE abducting people and putting them in these weird, like, rape vans, like unmarked vans. Like, we used to call them rape vans. And you know, protesters being thrown to the ground and dragged and arrested, and women being arrested in front of their kids being, like, just look. How much more evidence of malfeasance and illegality do you need? Like, do you need to study? Like, I don't understand constitutional law, but I don't need to understand constitutional law to see with my two eyes in my brain that this is un-American. But like, there's people that'll be like, well, I don't know the laws and this and that. First of all, it's not illegal. I mean, it's a misdemeanor to enter the country illegally. Like, it's a misdemeanor, like jaywalking. Like, it's not a felony. If you enter the country and you declare asylum, like, that's a legal right that we have in this country. Like, declaring asylum, whether it's from economic asylum or political asylum, it's a legal right that we still, I believe, still have on the books in this country. So show me all the laws that are being broken.
But that's not what any of it's about. These poor immigrants are being scapegoated because the working class has been overlooked by unregulated capitalism, and the laborers have been demeaned by the Republican Party, labor unions. And the reason all of these billionaires are billionaires isn't because they're any different than anybody else. It's because of a labor force. They have an amazing labor force that both parties, the Republicans and Democrats,
it turns out the Democrats are just
and in that vacuum,
or maybe not just as bad, but
we've left this vacuum, and that's how fascism has been born. And so these poor immigrants are being scapegoated, and I used to live in Oklahoma City full time forever, and
What's
have
it
white
there?
people.
Oh, is it?
It's very white,
Religious.
It's cool.
Oklahoma City is a purple city, but generally the state is very evangelical, white. Think about decades old socially. You have people that get married at 21 so that they can have sex. So do
you guys know anyone in Oklahoma that got raptured?
No, I wish.
No, I was always the lone atheist in Oklahoma. And so, but anyway, I think that multiculturalism is something that all of these, deeply homogenous white culture people enjoy. They love to go eat Mexican food on the weekends. They love to watch the Oklahoma City Thunder, which is the NBA team, which is dominated by African Americans. And so I think the Democrats have done a really piss poor job messaging how important multiculturalism is. Meanwhile, the Republicans have done a stellar job attacking blue cities. And Democrats haven't defended them and said these are economic centers. Their crime rate is lower in these places per capita. And so, the takeaway I have from all of this is the Democrats, to me, current Democratic leadership, there are some outliers, feel like the party of preserving the status quo. It feels conservative to me. The current Democratic Party feels conservative to me because they just will not go forward. You have this rock star candidate, mayoral candidate Zoran Mamdani. Whether you like him or not, he has massive grassroots support. He is a national superstar. And you've got people in the Democratic Party. He won a free and fair election, and they won't endorse him. Whether you agree with him at 7 out of 10 things, 6 out of 10 things, you fucking endorse him and say, hey, he's a little bit further left than me. I don't know about all this free shit he's talking about, but he won. So let's give it a twirl.
Listener, the hot book of the summer. Oops, I have it the wrong way. Take 2. Listener, the hot book of the summer is now the cool book of the fall. It is, in Trump's America, I can tell you with absolute certainty, the best book that has ever been written. And believe me, a lot of people are talking about it.
Everybody's talking about it.
Everybody's talking about it. It took us 1 day to write it.
Because we're
on day 1.
Because we took a cognitive test and it was book, write, done.
All right. Anyway, please buy our book. It's a great way to support us. It is a really fun read for the fall. Curl up with your pumpkin spice lattes and just enjoy living the American dream in dipshit Trump's America.
Unlike unlike a lot of people, I don't make a secret of the fact that I have used GLP-1s and had amazing results. And I want to thank Ro for that. And when I hear about people wanting to use GLP-1s, but being afraid they can't afford it and they don't know if their insurance covers it, I'm always so happy to tell them about Ro's Insurance Checker. Not knowing what's covered by your insurance is a huge problem. And sometimes people don't even know where to begin with their insurance. That's why Ro's free insurance checker breaks it all down, making it easier to get the care you may already qualify for. Ro gives you the info you need to feel confident in your decision to start treatment. So I've used Ro. They've helped me. You should use it too. Go to ro.co/hadit for your free insurance check. That's ro.co/hadit to see if your insurance covers GLP-1s for free. Go to ro.co/safety for boxed warning and full safety information about GLP-1 medications. Okay, when we decided to start doing this podcast from home, I needed a desk and a chair that was comfortable, but also looked great. And that is why I went to Article. Article.com is such a gift to people that want gorgeous furniture and don't want to spend an arm and a leg. Article offers a curated range of mid-century modern, coastal, and Scandi-inspired pieces that not only shine on their own, but also pair seamlessly with nearly any other Article product. And you can tell the difference in quality when you receive an Article piece. The meticulous packaging, the weight and feel of the product, and the fact that it comes mostly assembled. So Article offers fast, affordable shipping across the US and Canada with options for professional assembly if you prefer a hands-off experience. Also, Article has a 30-day satisfaction guarantee, so you can shop with confidence, knowing that if you're not completely in love with your new furniture, you can easily return it. Article is offering our listeners $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more. To claim, visit article.com/hadit, and the discount will automatically be applied at checkout. That's article.com/hadit for $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more.
This ad is brought to you by Vive Healthcare, the makers of Apertude, Cabotegravir.
You never skip your SPF, and you carry hand sanitizer like an accessory, but what are you doing for HIV prevention? One way to help protect yourself from HIV is Apertude, a prescription medicine used to reduce the risk of getting HIV in adults and adolescents weighing at least 77 pounds.
You must be HIV negative to receive Apertude and get tested before each injection. If you think you were exposed to HIV or have flu-like symptoms, tell your doctor right away. More HIV testing may be needed. Apertude does not prevent other sexually transmitted infections. Practice safer sex to reduce your risk. Get Apertude as scheduled. Missing doses increases your HIV risk. Don't take Apertude if allergic to it or taking certain medicines that may interact. Tell your doctor about your medical conditions, liver problems, and mental health. Serious side effects include allergic reactions or rash, liver problems, and depression. If these occur, get medical help right away. The most common side effect is injection site reaction. Bring your A game and talk to your doctor. Learn more at apertude.com or call 1-888-240-0340.
All right, Carole, let's move along here to our game called Had It or Hit It.
Oh my God. Welcome to Had It or Hit It. I would hit it.
Had it.
Had it. I hit it every day, sometimes twice a day.
Carole, had it or hit it, cats.
Hit it. Is that the good thing or the bad thing?
Good.
Okay,
Cats.
yeah, hit it. Hello, I have 2 cats. Cats are better than anything. Cats are better than boyfriends.
What are your cats' names?
Well, I was just discussing that. I call them, they're, hey guys. They answer to hey guys.
Hey,
I
guys.
do love it. Every day, like 10 times a day, I'm like, hey guys. And they come running.
Hey, guys.
Hey guys. So maybe one's hey and one's guys, but I call them baby. I have names for them, but they change. Like they were recently Taylor and Travis. And then before that, they were George and Tammy from Tammy Wynette and George Jones. Like they have.
Oh, yeah.
But mostly they just answer to hey guys.
Hey guys.
Hey, guys. All right. Had it or hit it, Fox News.
Had it. I mean, I don't watch it. It's ridiculous. I mean, I see it on TikTok.
It's so ridiculous. We see it online too. It's so
it's like a comedy. It's like a comedy show.
It is. It's so crazy. It's like an entertainment channel. It's like the WWE of news.
Yeah.
It has this WWE vibe to it.
Yeah.
But honestly, the whole Trump presidency does.
Yeah. It's the biggest clown. I mean, I will tell you, Donald Trump is the greatest we've ever seen, by the way, like in terms of like this ability to like cult figure con grifters. Like there's honestly, I don't think we've seen, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think we've ever seen anyone at this level, and his ability to turn really dark, menacing stuff into almost like comedy. Like if he wasn't, I think he'd be a great late night comedian, like not a president. I mean, it's so crazy to think that this guy is a president, but he's like, he is, it's like the greatest show, like the greatest con of all.
Yeah. He's the biggest con artist ever.
Like the greatest we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Okay. Had it or hit it, the Supreme Court.
Had it, just because I just don't like how a lot of them were confirmed. Like
I agree.
Kavanaugh, like, oh, remember he was crying about having beers with Squibb and Tubin? Like,
you know what's so irritating about Brett Kavanaugh is now we know that Christopher Wray's FBI sat on 4,000 emails and complaints about sexual allegations against him. They sat on and they didn't release to the Senate. And when you think about the seat that was stolen from Obama, you know, it's so we have these Christian nationalist minority rule. And in places like Oklahoma, that rule is felt very acutely because there's a total abortion ban and the erosion of gay rights. And it's really, when you let these Christian nationalists have what they want, it causes a lot of suffering, specifically disproportionately to poor people and minorities. And and they all do it in the name of Jesus. And it's just so hypocritical.
Oh, crazy. But, you know, the Republicans know how to use power and the Democrats don't. Oh no, I'm blanking on it. The majority leader,
Schumer.
No, the Senate.
John Thune or Moses Mike Johnson.
He's stroking. Oh, I'm stroking out now. The majority. It's the Kentucky Senate.
Mitch McConnell. Mitch
McConnell. Oh my God, I'm having a stroke now. He knows how to use power. And
totally.
He knows how to use it, and the Republicans generally are like brilliant at that, and the Democrats don't know what they're doing. It's just,
and they just shamelessly use it, and it shows always how we're playing two different games.
Right.
The Democrats, show up and they want to have a civilized discussion about things and take it through committee and do all of these things.
They're not.
We're going to cram this right down your throats, and that's just going to be the end of it. And it's just the way we're playing two different games is just so devastating that the Democrats haven't had more courage at fighting this, because like I said, in red states, the erosion of civil liberties is well underway.
What do you guys think of Gavin Newsom? I hit it with Gavin. I like his style. It's like, it reminds me of you guys, like making fun, mocking, like using the Republican sort of playbook and turning it around on them. I think that's so effective.
I do too.
I think I am for anybody that will fight hard. And I think JB Pritzker is doing a really good job at this. I think Gavin Newsom is doing a really good job of this. Bernie and AOC are doing a really good job at this. And so, yeah, I'm for anybody who can fight. There are some people in the Democratic leadership that I want to push and nudge along a little bit further. But
Like
all in
who?
all,
Jeffries?
Hakeem, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sort of disappointed in him.
Yeah.
Schumer needs to be pushed. Well, Schumer needs to retire.
Schumer needs to retire. He needs to pass the torch to somebody who can get in there. Because here's the thing that pisses me off.
It's another Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Diane Feinstein thing. It's insane.
Here's the thing that pisses me off. These guys are so dorky. Stephen Miller, Donald Trump, JD Vance, Mike Johnson, Ted Cruz. These are the biggest fucking dweebs this country has ever produced. It should be a layup to relentlessly and mercilessly just go after them nonstop. You know, like Mike Johnson, are you on Grindr? Why are you checking your son's porn? I mean, just go for the jugular. Our democracy is on the line. Just fucking rip off everything.
But they
just
do
go
talk
charge
about
at
his
him.
Grindr account, but like it doesn't.
Well, of course
stick.
he has one.
Of course.
You guys talk about it more than any. But how come that doesn't stick? You guys are doing the Lord's work. Like
We're trying.
I don't understand why none of this is sticking. A lot of these the pastor is now in jail for
rape. Yeah,
rape and of a mind. Like, this is crazy what's happening on that side, and then nothing sticks. I'm telling you, Trump is the best we've ever seen, and all his accolades, all the people he's protecting. It's really if it wasn't so monstrous, it would be admirable. Like I'd be like, wow, he really knows what he's doing.
You're really a great cult leader. Okay, last one,
people
Carole.
would drink the Kool-Aid. I mean, literally.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Okay, last one, Carole. Had it or hit it, the United States of America.
Oh, bummer. You know, I kind of in this moment I've had it, but like it's hard to say that. And as a New Yorker, I think of like when I travel, I'm like I just say I'm a New Yorker, and I don't say American. You know, it's really. I remember a time where I used to travel overseas a lot at ABC News, and to be an American and to have an American passport meant something. You felt safe. You felt like, and maybe it wasn't that way, but you felt that way. And now this past summer, and you know, I was in Europe, and you just feel like you're embarrassed. You're embarrassed, and people are making fun, and rightly so, of the tactics and the antics that are going on. They just can't believe it. Really, most European countries, people that I've met, they can't believe what's going on.
It's hard for me to believe. Carole, thank you so much for joining us. And I just recently moved to New York, and I will make us a resi.
What?
In the West. Yeah. I'll make us a resi on the Resi app. Yeah, and we'll go have our Resi.
Let's have a Resi.
With you guys.
That'd be so lovely. Wow.
All right, Carole.
Okay. Nice.
Bye. Thank you so much. You too. Bye-bye.
Love your work.
So you know what's so cool about her? She was married to Lee Radziwill, who was Jackie Kennedy's sister's son. So Lee Radziwill is the sister of Jackie Kennedy, her son. And I remember when JFK Jr. and Carolyn Bessette died. I remember seeing her because she was their friend, like really good. They were like really good friends, 30 something in New York. So she went through all of this shit, which I think she's done, you know, the book and everything about it, but her husband dying and then her friends dying. I mean, that's so traumatizing.
Yeah. And I think she wrote one of her books is about overcoming grief and working through grief.
Yeah. I think it's called What Remains.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's the title of it. What Remains.
I really like her.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, listener, here's what you need to do. You need to Pumps, do you have your book?
I do.
Why don't you do a commercial for us?
Life is a Lazy Susan of Shit Sandwiches. There's a link in the show notes, and you can get it on Audible or download anywhere you get a book.
Excellent. All right, listener, we will see you next Tuesday or Thursday.
I'll tell you what I've had it with. Let's hear it. I've had it with that.
Listen up, patriots, gaytriots, and natriots. We have a new podcast that has dropped. It's called iHip News. It's Monday through Friday, every day, 15 to 20-minute hot takes on the political landscape of the United States of America, always served with a side of petty grievances.
We are on all the available platforms, Apple, Spotify, Google, whatever you get your podcasts, and YouTube.
Please go rate, subscribe, and review so that we will chart upwards with America's greatest legal mind. Pumps, what does an eagle say?
Caw-caw!
A little bit more enthusiasm.
Caw-caw!
That's it. That's
Caw-caw!
That's the patriotism that this country needs right there.